What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Colonial Acres and I just finished 4 long, hard, grueling days at work and my body feels like trash, but it's the first snow of the year. Not the year, first snow of the season. So I had to come out here. It is cold, it is windy. So I decided that what better day than today to test out a possible overstable distance driver. I don't know if it would be permanently slotting in, but it definitely has the ability to, when it's windy, like today, will the streamlined engine stay stable enough? Or am I going to have to go a little bit more overstable? I'm not talking Machete. I'm talking the Esplin Conqueror. Basically a PD2, but the OG PD2, the Innova-made PD2. Let's see how it fares out here in the wind. So Machete's here just kind of as a, maybe we need it as a wind test to see what's really going on. The main battle is between the Conqueror and the engine. And parting line wise, very similar parting lines. However, yeah, the engine's a little bit lower, but because of the nose hump, the actual parting line might be similar, but the actual achieved parting line is higher because Innova and their special stuff that they do. Yeah, we can keep talking about this all day long. I don't want to keep kicking a dead horse. Basically, the engine is great, but it is rated at like negative 0.52 or 0.2, so it's good. But the O2 just doesn't always have the stability that I want. And granted, it's a 13 speed, so it's going to achieve its overstability quicker than a 12 speed would, unless that 12 speed is just blatantly aggressively overstable, because this is a 12.404. We're gonna go engine here, starting on hole 3, 440 to the basket. Likelihood is not likely to get there, and I think this hole is probably the most guarded. I think the wind's coming off this direction, so we'll see as we move further away from the trees. I think that it is a negative 0.5 because the Octane is a negative 1 2 fade. The Mayhem is a negative 1.5 2 fade. And I think they did the thing where they just changed the flight number slightly to be a negative 0.5. And I do think it has less flip up than an Octane. It does still have a little bit of flip up, and I've thrown it on a couple of windy shots where I've seen it actually flex that I wasn't anticipating it flexing. I think it'd have to be a lot of wind for this Conqueror to accidentally flex. Oh, it gets the stability so quick. Oh, I love it. It's amazing. It's probably too cold Or I should have tried to throw the shorts with a putter at a mid-range just to try to warm up my fingers before I did this, because this is going to be a painful video. I can already tell. Unless I get my fingers to warm up a lot quicker. But what are we going for here? Distance and stability. I think both of these molds are going to give you both. Oh yeah. We had a cross tailwind, which is why they both faded so quick. On the next hole, I'm gonna throw a backhand and see how fast they fade into that, because then it'll be a head crosswind. So distance, we haven't made it to either one of them yet. Oh yeah. I mean, and this is why I think I'm still going to rely on the engine a lot, because distance-wise, it's hard to pass up this versus this. But in windy situations, I have already seen the engine flex on me. That disc will be overstable every single time you throw it for probably the next 10 years. So, am I going to stick it in the bag permanently? Or is it going to be one of those, I'm playing a big, wide open course, bomber course, it's going to be windy, or stick it in there for windy times of the year? I think that's more what I'm getting from this, because it might have the stability of the machete, but the dome and the glide of the engine. Let's go throw the next shot. I mean, distance-wise, engine takes it. Stability-wise, Conqueror takes it. So, is this truly a battle, or is this more of a comparison? In which case, if it is a battle, which one do we give the point to? Since we're trying to find what's going to be reliably every single way, every single time you throw it, no matter what the wind is, I think Conqueror gets the point on the last hole. So Conqueror taking the first point. Let's see what we can do here. This is 385 wind, 385 winds coming off of this direction, so it's going to need to be tough. Oh yeah, I actually got some Anheuser on at that time. Look at that swing. That might have the distance. Still a little short. Now, I'm going to hit this like I would my Mayhem, my Octane, my stand up to flat disc, because I think it's going to stand up to flat. I had that on a hyzer and it flexed. So hit the engine on a hyzer into a headwind, it flexes. Hit the Conqueror on an Anheuser into a headwind and it flexes. I guess it depends how I'm throwing. What am I most comfortable with throwing at the time? And for the time being, it is soft hyzer. But also, because it flexed and I didn't want it to flex, it drifted further to the right than the Conqueror did. Plus, it didn't stable out as quick or as much. So, Conqueror takes... I think we're going to give it to Conqueror again. Takes his second point. It's real windy out here, guys. Forehand ability. Where does that leave us? I am going to lead off here with the machete. Wow. This disc is very stiff when it's cold. This is only 306, which is about max distance for machete flex. Forehand, I think, for me. With the engine, I should be able to push further. The question is, will I? And the Conqueror should be able to push a little bit further. The question is, will I? Machete is going to give us our wind test though. Okay. Yep, it just kind of died off on me. Conquer with 2 points in a row. Oh, it's so smooth. Very overstable, but so smooth. I like how it's coming out of my hand on a forehand. Okay, there is the when you are an 04, doesn't matter how much crosswind there is. I mean, kind of does. Doesn't matter how hard you're trying to throw it. Doesn't matter how much anhydrous you're putting it on. As long as you're giving it the spin and giving it the right trajectory, overstable will fight out. The engine is overstable, but it's not quite even... I don't even think it's stable destroyer overstable. It's just a very glidey, pushy overstable, which is great as your go-to stable wind fighter distance driver. But in those rare circumstances where you need a disc to not do that, I mean, Conqueror with 3 in a row. This hole is one of those distance holes where it's kind of the separator for me between fairway and distance driver. On a good day with the right tailwind, the right shot, I might be able to get a flip up fairway driver to fly all the way there, but it's 400 feet. The Machete will not make it there. I haven't tried yet, but I 100% know that I cannot throw the Machete 400 feet, which is why, even though it's an 11 speed size rim, I still count it as a fairway driver. These two discs are discs that should be able to crest up into that 400 foot range, especially when you have the extra glide assistance from the wind, but also how do they fare with said wind. It's pretty stiff right now, coming off the head right to left. Conqueror still with the box. I hope that came down. I will say, as much as I love Innova plastic, Champion is still Champion for a reason. That's Star plastic, and it will eventually grip lock if I throw it enough times. Likelihood is, though, engine, as long as we don't hit said tree, we should get a point. Did you see the committed hyzer release that I threw that engine on? And that looked like a fairway driver shot. That looked like a mayhem. That's what headwind does. I love the engine, and it is, for all intents and purposes, one of my go-tos at this point in time. But there are times when I need a disc to go into that headwind and not turn over. And the engine isn't quite that overstable. So I might have to climb this tree because that looks pretty thick. Oh, I see it. We're good. Conqueror is retrievable. I wish I could get it in a different plastic, but being that it's an infinite, I think they just kind of get what they can take at this point. So plastics are what plastics are. Star plastic isn't that terrible for me. It just occasionally grip locks. So as long as I learn the release angles, we should be fine, right? I think we're gonna go throw one, maybe two more holes. I think we're just gonna play this one more hole because at this point it's very clear that they're two different styles of disc. They do two different things, and while the things that this does in a headwind are what this does when it's calm, those are both great. I think this is one of those where when I'm playing open courses, when it's windy and certain times of the year where it's just going to be windier because you just don't have the leaves to stop the wind. I think during fall, winter, and some early springtime, we might have to pull one of the less stable Mayhem out and stick the Conqueror in, just so that we have that disc that will always fade when this sometimes won't into a headwind. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it did win out on the last hole, so we're gonna throw it first on this hole. 447, not likely to make the basket with either one of these. It is uphill, we have a tailwind, so stable them out pretty quick here. Yeah, that did not come out on Anheuser. Came out flat to Heiser. Yeah. I think when it's windy, Mayhems are gonna have to slim down, not have two Mayhems in the bag, just so that we have a disc that will always fade at distance. Because while I have discs that will always fade, they don't go that far. I mean, if you ever want to get around a corner, it's literally what I have the machete for. Conqueror is one of those where it will give you the distance, it will give you the stability without just being blatantly, aggressively overstable. It's not tilt, it's not flat top Firebird. It has its uses, it has the things that it's good at, and the things that it's good at, it is very, very, very good at. And I think I am coming to the realization, it is cold and my mouth doesn't work right now, that at this point in time in my disc golf career, at this current elevation and the current windiness, I need one of those. So we're gonna be experimenting with the Conqueror for a little while. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber only giveaways. If you want to be automatically entered into monthly giveaways, check out the memberships as well. Until next time, see you out on the course.